Namaha everyone. Hi, my name is Vaideshwata, CEO and founder of Ayush for Life, Ayurvedic Holistic Wellness Center here in Canada. And today we are going to talk about our ongoing series on yoga and Ayurveda. You can see here these small Indian flags. I just wanted to uh, convey this message that today is India's 75th Independence Day, and I want to congratulate and celebrate this day with all of you. So happy Independence Day. I am so proud of being born on the land where Ayurveda and yoga originated. So happy Independence Day. I'm going to invite our guest, Kendra. She's going to be here with us soon. And we are going to have this quick morning chat on Yoga Nidra. Just a moment, and she's here with us. Where are you, Kendra? Okay, she's here with us, and I'm going to she's here with us. Hello, Kendra. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. You can see these flags, Indian flags on my face.
Very nice.
Today is India's Independence Day, 75th. India is celebrating 75th Independence Day, and just wanted to let everyone know I'm happy. I was born on the land of where or Ayurveda and yoga originated. So here, here is just my gesture.
That's awesome.
Okay, let's get started. So, in our last episode, we talked about Yoga Nidra and what are the benefits of Yoga Nidra, especially for people who have busy lives, busy minds. Uh, Today, we are going to talk about how to prep your own body with before going for Yoga Nidra. So, what are those things to prep up? Can you please elaborate? Over to you.
Well, there's quite a few things you can do. I like to offer a bit of asana beforehand to prepare your body for settling in. But just simple things like recognizing how you're feeling and what's going on in your mind, and just taking that moment or even jotting it down if you are a journaler, jotting down your thoughts or your to-do list for recognizing it for later and then setting it aside
Mm-hmm.
can help you really be more present with your practice. And then preparing your body by getting into a Shavasana position so that your body can be really restful while you're practicing.
Okay. Can you please tell us more about Shavasana? What is Shavasana, and how do we do it? Like if you were to tell to someone uh, who doesn't know about yoga or any of its origin or roots, what is Shavasana?
So Shavasana is corpse pose. So you're lying down on your back. Traditionally, it's you want to find a neutral position, so your spine in alignment, and your feet will be about hip distance apart. Your arms might be out beside you with your palms up. But you can alter this position in order to fit what your body needs, because the position itself is meant to evoke more of a rest and relaxation. It's really helpful if you're not feeling well to bring about more prana, more energy, more
Mm,
joy, more
mm,
healing. So yeah, so you can alter it by using propping, and you really want to make the position so that you feel so comfortable that you don't want to move.
Right. And more often than I have noticed or come across this fact that many people who actually follow or start doing Shavasana, they fall asleep during this asana. Like they
Mm-hmm.
literally fall asleep during the class. So
Mm-hmm.
any tips how to go back from there, revert from there?
Well, first of all, I'm going to say that that's okay if you fall asleep. It's actually, you know what, it's a sign that you need sleep. So
Mhm.
sleep is divine.
Good.
It's precious. So take it when you can.
Okay. Okay.
um, so there's, I guess, to stay awake, you can bring about focus on a particular thing. So, like, you could remain aware of your breathing, or um, do your own body scan. Um, but I think the biggest thing to recognize is that it's okay if you fall asleep. It's not necessarily that you shouldn't fall asleep. In fact,
Hmm.
Yoga Nidra is evoking the sleep state. So you're going to retain awareness, but you're also going to allow yourself to surrender to that sleep
Mm.
at the same time. So you may fall asleep, or you may settle into a yoga nidra state. And you can kind of tell the difference if at the end your instructor has to go over and wake you up, then you fell asleep, but that's okay. It's still good. But if you hear the instructor telling you, you know, come back to your body, you know, feel what's going on, wake up your body, do some wiggles, at the
Mm.
end of the practice, then you've probably settled into a yoga nidra state versus fully falling asleep, which is sometimes hard to differentiate.
Mm. Mm. Okay. Great. Great. So, any particular tips, Kendra, before doing Shavasana, like with especially with related to the timings of the day, what time we should be doing it, or maybe with regards to the meals. So people oftenly they get sleepy and very sluggish after eating the meals.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is the best time of actually being awakened yet falling asleep in Yoga Nidra? Like there's a very,
It
you
depends
know,
on the person.
okay.
You probably have more insight on specific times of day for practice. I like to practice around, you know, 2 o'clock, 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because for me, that's my time where I can really recharge. And then the rest of my day, I have more energy. Some people might like to practice in the morning if they didn't get a full night's sleep, and they need a little extra rejuvenation. The morning time can be really nice, although it may be harder to remain awake.
Mm,
Um, and then sometimes people like to practice right before bed to help you settle in for nighttime. But for some people, practicing before bed might cause them to be more awake after they practice. So
mm,
it's kind
yeah.
of trial and error to find the best time. But I wouldn't say there's a bad time to practice. But
Mm, agreed.
yeah, anytime if you can fit it in, it's good. And as
Agreed.
long as it's not interrupting your sleep, then it's good. But you have to find that out for yourself.
Yes, yes. I find it hard, or I struggle when I have to tell people that if you are falling asleep, uh, like sleep is your all your awareness, all your senses are kind of shut down from the outer world.
Hmm.
But Yoga Nidra is where your conscious awaken, or at least tries to get awakened. So
Yes.
people, uh, just like you mentioned earlier in our conversation, that if you're listening to the instructors, uh, all the instructions that the instructor is telling you, yet you are very relaxed and you are very calm, all your senses are grounded, that means you are going towards the Yoga Nidra. Whereas if you have fallen asleep and everything is shut down, then it's sleep, which is
Yeah.
also very essential, considering with because the main objective of our body is to uh, give 100% and feel fresh when we awake after Yoga Nidra.
Mhm.
So people, they are sleep deprived due to stress these days. The whole concept of nidra, which is sleep, and food, or the dietetic regimen that has been mentioned in yoga and Ayurveda, people, they unfortunately they don't know, they are not following those things, and anything and everything that comes in the form of diet, they just take in, and the result is their sleep is compromised, and 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 again, that this is a vicious cycle that a person has to break.
Mhm.
So my expert advice on especially prepping your body for yoga nidra would be, have your body, like, the last meal of your before doing shavasana, the last meal should be digested. So it takes, for an adult, it takes like 2 to 2.5 hours, or maybe sometime 3 hours before the last meal is digested. So when you have an empty stomach, you don't fall asleep, sleep. You are still awakened, you are aware of your surroundings, but you are very relaxed. That's one point. And the second one is, again, if you are doing it in the evening hours or in the early morning hours, both are good. Until and unless you don't have a rush that, okay, I have to do these chores after this time, and you don't have that timer set in your mind that I have to complete all these things, because the main motive of yoga nidra is to relax and calm and be in the moment, which people, it takes time. I'm not saying it is very easy. It takes time to be in the moment, like, past is past, future is future. You are here and enjoying this moment, being in the moment. It is very, very difficult to implement. And while I'm saying this, it happens to quite often to me as well. Though I know all the principles, basic principles behind this, but yet we are in so much of a race, a rat race, that we are running, and some of the things that hurt us, we don't want to let them go, and some of the things for which we are always worried is our future. Okay, what next, what next, I have to do this, I have to do this, which is okay, being, setting your uh, uh, yeah, main goal in your life is okay, but still, when you are so much of stressed out, I think yoga nidra is the best thing that you can do for your mind and your body, right? So lying on an empty stomach, the spine is aligned, flat on the ground, you are, aware of your breath, the take in and the exhales, the inhales and the exhales, while you are listening to the instructors' uh, instructions, is the way to start. And I'm sure, Kendra, you have so much more to give to our community, because you have been doing these classes where people, they join in, and they have this yoga nidra session with you, and you are there for them. So I would encourage all our followers, or people who are interested in following more about Yoga Nidra, can DM Kendra, and she can, maybe accommodate you in her next class, where she can help you out with all these stressful things that you are going through in your life. So, Kendra, we are going to talk about, as we have promised our followers, we are going to talk about more about Yoga Nidra in the following sessions, and hopefully in the next session we have a guided session, a mini session of Yoga Nidra, where we will be having our mornings, yet we will be experiencing this divine session, 10 to 15 minutes, where you will be there with us, guiding us, and we are following the Yoga Nidra session, where we want to awaken up and do all the things 100% with our 100% energy, right?
Sounds lovely. I want to add too about neutrality, if that's all right.
Yes, please
In
go ahead.
terms of Shavasana, neutrality will look different for each person. So if you want to really align your spine and find a neutral spine, you'll probably need something to elevate your legs. And I find too, a lot of people will get more overwhelmed if their chin is elevated. It actually calms the nervous system to allow your chin to draw down towards your chest. So propping with a pillow under your head can help align your spine as well. And the height of your props is completely up to you.
I see.
It can be done also on your side, especially if you're pregnant, and on your side is awesome, and more pillows is always better.
Okay.
Neutrality, though, goes beyond just neutral positioning,
Yes.
and is also, the temperature of the room, and your body might get cooler, so you may need a blanket, or perhaps you run hot, so you may need no blanket or less layers.
Yes.
And sound, you want to feel safe and comfortable in the space where you're practicing. So keep that in mind when you set up for next week.
Absolutely. And I will be following up with a post. What are the small things that we need to do before prepping up for this session? So the sound, the environment, the temperature, some of the props, if you can use, maybe a, a pillow, if that's comfortable for you, will be the best things that that you can do before setting up for the session. So grab all these things and make yourself comfortable, and maybe don't have the breakfast at this time, until this time. Just maybe you can have a chai or tea, or maybe if you want to have breakfast, then have a gap of 2 or 2.5 hours before you end up following this session, Yoga Nidra session with us. So we will be there at 11 a.m. next week, same time, sharp, and we will be having this small mini yoga blissful session with Kendra. Thank you so much, Kendra, for joining us today. This was a lovely conversation as usual. And we will see you next morning, Sunday morning at 11 a.m. With a setup of Yoga Nidra. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Namo Namah.